Welcome to the Hollow in Kansas City, Missouri, everyone. Here on MLB.com, this is the Crown Town Wiffle Weekend as it culminates here in Kansas City, Missouri at the Hollow. And yes, we are in a front yard, the front yard of Joe Ungashik. And those are the wiffle balls we'll be playing with today. We have three teams that are going to go up against each other today: the powder blue team, the royal blue team, and the white team today. And if you wonder about wiffle ball rules, here they are for you. Former Royal guest pitchers will be out there throwing the ball. I'm talking about guys like Jeff Montgomery. I mean, come on now. We're serving up the meatballs today. 3 pitches per player, 3 outs per team. Hitting team goes to the field. The fielding team goes to the clubhouse. Clubhouse team goes to bat. Disputed calls will be officially reviewed. That should be exciting. And the reviews will be settled by Sparkle. What? And we're going to go with rock, paper, scissors on that. So, outstanding. Let's go down now onto the field for our national anthem.
You remove your hat, place your hand over the national anthem. Singing for us today is Janie Stevenson.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Oh, we were talking about some of the former Royals here today. Let's go left to right. Cookie Rojas in the Royals Hall of Fame. Next to him, Steve Busby in the Royals Hall of Fame. Billy Butler back in town. Perhaps he'll be in the Royals Hall of Fame at some point here. And then the Major League Baseball Hall of Famer and our, I guess, is our Master of Ceremonies here tonight, George Brett, trying to loosen up the wing here. He's going to be one of the pitchers today. So, just a great turnout here. Again, we're in the front yard of Joe Ungashik. Joe Ungashik, who has built this in his front yard so the neighborhood kids could play wiffle ball. And that is Mayor Sly James throwing out the first pitch here tonight. And this morning, and it's Steve Busby on the other end of that one. And there's Cookie Rojas. He was the guy that turned over second base to Frank White back in the day. And he was a Royals All-Star back in the 70s. And now it's going to be George Brett, who is across the diamond at third base and started a few double plays to that guy right there, Cookie Rojas, who could turn it very well. And as I remember, I think Cookie hit a home run in the All-Star game back in the 70s. Just had the All-Star game early in the week.
Pitches, just like everybody else.
So now Dayton's going to have to hurl one. Dayton Moore, the Royals general manager, and this is his foundation. See you in the major leagues. That's why we're here today. And he and Matt Folks, the director, there's See You in the Major Leagues, the foundation, and they do so much in this community. And last season, $75,000 raised. They have a goal of about $300,000 this year. We had some incredible stuff last night. In fact, can we listen in to Denny as he's talking down on the field? I'll ask the truck. Let's do that. Denny Matthews down on the field.
$645,000 of that has stayed in Kansas City or has gone to help people in our community. Catching for Dayton is one of the key members of the 2014 American League Championship team, Billy Butler. All right, Dayton, throw a strike. Yeah. Now Dayton's going to officially launch the Wiffle Ball tournament.
All right, everybody, so proud to be a part of this. Joe, thank you for your hospitality. All of our sponsors, all of our players, this wonderful community of Kansas City. So let's just all enjoy ourselves and play ball.
Dayton Moore getting us started here for Crown Town Wiffle Weekend. Back to Kansas City right after this. Hey, George.
Still got it, baby. You still got it. Yeah. Well, you bought many bats from us before. That's good. Can you hold on 1 second? Thank you. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Thanks for holding. Yeah, I just had an important call I had to take.
Just a beautiful day here in Kansas City. Not a cloud in the sky. 82 degrees officially. Not a whole lot of wind. And it looks like it might be blowing in just a little bit. That will hurt the wiffle ball game today. Just a tad when guys are trying to yank it out of here. But our chance of rain, absolutely nothing today. Just a beautiful day in Kansas City. And again, we're at about 52nd and Warnell, for those of you familiar. Right across the street from Luce Park. I think I could hit a pitching wedge into the duck pond from here and our vantage point. So it will be Royal Blue up first. And this is Grant Curtis, who's got a ground ball. And he's going to make it to first base safely.
Danny Matthews right out of the gate.
Grant from Los Angeles, California. And his favorite player was George Brett. So he got to see him today, and he's on first. And now coming to bat, Randy Brewer from Nashville, Tennessee. That's a swinging bunt. And he's safe, so first and second now for the Royal Blue team.
The catcher is...
And now George Brett, he's got 3 bats, one for each of his batting titles. I thought those were supposed to be silver, but apparently today he's going to hit with all 3 of them, and he goes yard! Oh, are you kidding me? George Brett, maybe a little bit of extra punch, as he had 3 wiffle ball bats, and it bounced off all 3 of them and went right on out of here. That is too good. Now, I'm trying to look through the rosters. Number 1, he's not wearing royal blue. He's got the white shirt on tonight, but I guess you can do what you want when you're in the Hall of Fame. And here's Rutledge catching that one. He's playing third base, wearing number 5. Probably his idol. That's the first out of the inning that goes as Joe Moe will take a seat. Here's White at the plate. Another swinging bunt, and he's going to make it to first base.
In terms of wiffle ball day,
That is Tab White from Grain Valley, Missouri, whose childhood favorite player was Amos Otis.
in the big leagues, we'd all like to be in the
AO.
big leagues, that ball spins foul. Not so much here.
Up there right now is Nicholas Brundell, Kansas City, Missouri. And he just rips one down the left field line. He's got himself a single.
Hot shot down the line, which
Hot shot right by Rutledge here at third as Al Fitzmorris is serving up the meatballs right now. And to the plate, Fuzz. They simply call him Fuzz. Rick Wolverton from Olathe, Kansas. Oh, he's got one in the gap. And coming around to score is White. They've got runners at second and third.
Eddie, are we going single error?
And this thing is off to a great start here tonight. Dayton Moore's up here now. I got to give you a headset, buddy. Get in here. Just a few minutes. Here's Dayton Moore.
We'll get you every time.
No lights at the stadium, Fitz.
Play on Saturday.
And here's one driven to the outfield. Nice play there on the catch. Coming in to make that one, Adam Harris.
I know this is important.
And I'm now here with the general manager of the Royals, Dayton Moore. Dayton, great to have you up here. Get you in the shade, huh?
Yeah, quite a thrill. Be on here with you? You kidding me?
How about George Brett walking up to the plate with 3 bats and going yard? What do you think about that?
You know, one of my mentors is a guy named Jim Beecham. And of course, I grew up idolizing George Brett, as many of us did, as our baseball hero. But Jim Beecham, one of my mentors, used to say that, you know what? Some players are just chosen. George Brett's one of those guys that was chosen.
There we are. Here's Dayton up, and we have a press box here in a guy's front yard, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
Joe Ungashik has meant a lot to your program here. See you in the major leagues. Why don't you take a little time to talk about
Joe,
the foundation?
Well, thank you. Thanks, Neil. And, Joe's an amazing person, does so much for the community. And, I'd never met Joe until 2 years ago. And Matt Foltz, who is the director of our foundation, had this idea, along with Joe, to have
There's Joe right there.
There you go.
Got the bathrobe on. Go ahead.
To orchestrate this wiffle ball event, and they wanted to go really big out of the gate. And I said, hey, look, let's just go small. Let's just do this right. Learn to dot the I's, cross the T's with it. And then I showed up here and I said, you know what, they were right. We could have went bigger last year, but it's been an amazing time. I enjoy this so much, and so grateful for Joe and certainly Matt and you and everybody who's come alongside of us.
Well, there's the line drive down the left field line as Powder Blue is up there right now, and that is Lee Greif from Prairie Village, Kansas, where I grew up, man. I mean, you got to give it up there. That's a nice hit ball down the left field line. Stevens up there now. Well, Dayton, you, from the time you got here, I remember one time we were sitting in a meeting, and the late Paul Splittorff asked you, are you going to live here in Kansas City? I don't know if you remember that. And you said, of course I'm going to live here.
Yeah.
And your family, you and Marianne,
Right.
you have done that and committed to the community, and this is another way that you're able to do that through CU.
Well, first of all, the community's was committed to us. I mean, the community has been so faithful to us, our family, very supportive. I mean, you were one of the first people that I met when I came here. You've been very supportive, and so many others, and so it's just natural, to want to be able to give back and use whatever platform you have to help others. And that, to me, that's where leadership begins and ends. You understand that. Certainly this community's understood that from the very beginning.
Absolutely. And what a beautiful day we have here today. Could have been a lot hotter than this, obviously.
No doubt. July in Kansas City, and it's been so hot, and we've got a beautiful day.
Royals won a game last night, hung on to win that one, so that everybody's got a good feeling here. And this one is caught over here by T. Mack on the left field line for the out, and now they'll shift, and Powder Blue will go out into the field. So with a big home run by George Brett, it's Royal Bliss. Now this is how we do it. We got the 3 teams in the score box. We put this together just for this event. And we're happy to be a part of it, too. Hopefully we take this to another level by doing this on MLB.com and get a lot more folks to participate.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, like I said, I think we had, 32? There he is, yeah. So, look, when we were growing up and growing up in the scouting, and today they call that launch angle, we used to call it loft in your swing, right? So players had different degrees of loft in their swing. Well, you saw that natural loft of Jordan. Now, he didn't know anything about launch angle, but he knew about how to center a ball on a bat. And it's a great swing, natural.
He walked out of bed doing that.
No doubt.
When he
that's a line drive.
And that one is over the monster for the white team. Johnny Hart from Kansas City, Missouri, who, by the way, his childhood hero was George Brett. And he's a guy that played in college, and he showed you a nice swing right there.
No doubt. Yep.
His favorite memory from the Royals is Bo Jackson throwing out Harold Reynolds from the warning track. Do you remember that at all?
I do.
I was watching that
I didn't see it live. Of course, I saw it. Did you? Yeah. Wow.
There's Chidilla at the plate, number 2. Yeah, that was incredible. Bo Jackson, he was one of those guys you just stopped whatever you were doing to watch him either hit or if something like that was going to happen in the outfield.
No doubt. I mean, he could do a lot of things to help your team win baseball games.
How about Fitzy out there trying to groove some meatballs?
Next up is Matt Rutledge.
There's one to the outfield, and this one's caught by John Holt in the outfield for Powder Blue. You know what else, Dayton, that I noticed the other night at the Urban Youth Academy, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, we talked about, I used to practice Van Johnson there, and to see those fields and what you guys have done, talk about that just a little bit.
Well, it's been an amazing journey for us. Of course, Mayor James was so inspirational and accommodating for allow us to grow that dream. And Carolyn Watley, who headed up our fundraising committee, again, the city of Kansas City coming through in a big way and just to help provide opportunities for our youth.
It's unbelievable, that field. That is Bobby Hawk from Lee Summit, Missouri, who takes one the opposite way to right center. I thought somebody might come up with a Sports Center highlight there and reel that one back.
No doubt.
But, I watched a team of basketball players, Freedom, that they had a team in that playing Wiffle Ball, and you've sponsored them for a long time.
We have. Freedom Hoops, Michael Loney, who heads that up, has done an incredible job in coming alongside of young kids in the inner city who've been, disadvantaged, had some hard times, and he's given them a helping hand and providing leadership and using basketball as a platform to help grow them as leaders.
And how about this? Trey Hickman just took one deep.
That might be the most well-hit ball of the day.
That was an excellent swing. And guess who his childhood player is? Chipper Jones, a guy you know very well.
Yeah, going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Amazing talent.
Yeah, when I saw that last night, the basketball team playing wiffle ball, and then I talked to you about how that's one of the teams you have sponsored through CU in the major leagues.
Right.
And, it's just a great opportunity for folks like that. Who are some of the other benefactors here in the area?
You know what we've done, Neil, is we've been very strategic coming alongside families who are really hurting. So for example, families that have maybe lost belongings in a fire, lost belongings in a flood. We've had a chance to relocate families here to Kansas City that have experienced some really hard times and some tough luck in other places and set them up with a support structure, a leadership team that can help them in all aspects of managing their life. We've had opportunities to help families who have been in tragic accidents that simply cannot afford the proper medical care, whether it need a wheelchair accessible van, whether it need exercise equipment that the insurance will not cover so they can accommodate the rehab in their home. I mean, so there's been so many different things that we've been able to do. Last April, one of the people that we got in contact with was a family who had lost all their belongings, had no insurance in a tornado that came through Kansas City in April of 2017. Yeah. And so, it's a lot of fun to be able to do that. This year we were able to help the League of Smiles softball and baseball T-ball league, which was going under, and because of funds, and we were able to come alongside of them. And but there's been so many. You talk about, you know, Freedom Hoops and giving those kids a chance to get outside of Kansas City. You know, one of the things in the urban core, as we all know, is those kids never get a chance to leave the urban part of Kansas City, and they get to travel. They've traveled in places like Detroit and Memphis and Wichita and all over Kansas, and find out, you know what, there's a lot of great opportunities for you, and you continue to dream and believe in yourself, and there's people that care, and so that's what we're trying to do.
That's awesome, man. And it was great to see the smiles on the people's faces the other night at the Urban Youth Academy. And here, look at this. We have 9 runs in the first inning, and here's Mayor James, and talk about his, you know, he's been out involved in this as well, as he's going to beat this one out. He's got a single. Hey, you know, I'm going to give him a single in the scorebox anyway. But talk about Mayor James just a little bit.
You know, he's an incredible leader. He's somebody that I've been really blessed to get to know. He's very supportive, always speaks the truth. Very humble man, very smart. Somebody who cares deeply for our community, and it's been special to work alongside of him with the Urban Youth Academy and other things. And he's one of those guys that personally I'd do anything for.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And, you know, it's right down there by the Negro Leagues Museum. And, you know, my former coach in Van Johnson, Don Motley, the field is named after the Motley family. So that meant a lot to me to see all that coming together down there. Mayor James is going down to face first slide into second base. And I'm not sure you can call the mayor out, but they did. But look at all the folks that rushed to his side to make sure he's okay. Let's watch this one again, Dayton. Got the little hit here. She's going to make it to first base. That was Dana Wright. He's giving up his body.
He's the best.
That's awesome. And that's got to be a play of the day or something in Kansas City, even though he was out.
That's the play of the day in Kansas City, that's for sure.
That is fantastic.
That's his effort and his passion and his just love to. You know, the one thing about the mayor I've noticed is, and I've learned from him, and he seems to be able to delight in whatever situation he's in. Mm-hmm. And he makes everybody feel important, and he's just a blessing to be around.
Now, you know who this is. This is Scott Sharp at the plate.
Yeah.
Now, he's the guy that...
I remember watching Sharpie play at George Washington University when he was 21 years old.
Did he hit it just like that?
He could play. Yeah, Sharpie was actually, he was a third baseman. And when the Reds drafted him and converted him to catcher. And he played a few years in the minor leagues. And we actually hired one of our first hires when we came here to Kansas City. He was working as an area scout with the Texas Rangers. And we hired him to come over and be our director of minor league development.
And that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah. He's actually VP of assistant GM of baseball operations and involved in all aspects of our organization.
You know, that's the other thing. I mean, I was involved with the team back then, is to see the stability and consistency and overall commitment as this one comes back fair, sharp scores of your organization. That means a lot to have that.
You know, we've got great support from Mr. Glass and Dan Glass, as you know. And, you know, our front office, the core group, has been together longer than any front office in baseball. And so we're proud of that continuity. And, you know, we look forward. Obviously, we're going through a rebuilding time here. It's challenging, but it's work that we embrace and that we're excited to be a part of, and continues to grow us as leaders and to make us better. And so we're grateful for these tough times, believe it or not, because we know it's going to make our organization stronger.
Absolutely. On the other side, you could tell that when you guys came in here, and you know you've done it before, so no question about that. I was around when we were losing four seasons of 100 games, and so many people didn't think anything was coming back, and lo and behold, World Series twice, win it once, and you guys are the guys that did it. So it's been awesome to watch.
You know,
one of the greatest things ever happened here,
well,
actually, around
let me
sports.
say this, Neil. I've been asked, because of the success of the team and we've had an opportunity to speak all over the country and how we build a world championship team in one of the smallest markets in all of sports. Not been done in this modern era of baseball. And the story I get to tell is about this community and how this team won. And the team won simply because of the great support of the community. Without our fans, without people like you, the business people, the people at all aspects of the of the city, we couldn't win here.
And that one goes yard for the powder blue team. That is James Klein from Overland Park, whose childhood favorite player was Willie Mays. And that's why he's wearing number 24, I guess.
Kidding me?
Yeah. So how about that? Oh, yeah, that was phenomenal, Dayton. It was so fun to go through all that. And I know we can do it again. How about this swing?
Yeah.
That one's back to the 10th. And look who's serving all these up. Jeff Montgomery. He didn't do too much of that when he was playing. 300 saves in his career or something like that.
All-time save leader, yeah, with the Royals.
And doing a great job on TV.
And just a class person. I mean, he's consistent. I mean, every day he's the same guy and highly intelligent. I think Monty's been more successful off the field than he was on the field. Of course, he's a Royals Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that prepared while he was playing. And when he comes to our studio and has for the last few years and does the Lawrence Kia spots out of our studio, so we've got to stay in touch with him. That's been fun doing that. And here's one hit way up in the air and gone. That one just greased over the big monster. Can we call it that here in the front yard?
No doubt.
The big monster. And let's see who took that one out. Stuff comes pretty fast at you. That's the powder blue. That is Randy Brewer that took that one deep. And how about our score? We got Royal Blue 4, Powder Blue 6, and the White Team 5. We've got a game here today.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, if that one goes in the trash can, what does anybody get? That would have been very impressive. So yeah, this is one of the most beautiful places really in Kansas City is we're right across the street from Luce Park. Just a historic park here in Kansas City. Beautiful front yard of Joe Ungashik. And there's so many great partners, and there it is. Like I said, you could hit a sand wedge and hit it into the duck pond from here. That's how close we are here at 52nd and Warnell. They call it the Hollow. Now, why do we call it the Hollow? Do you know that?
That's a good question. I should know that.
I mean, we get Joe up here, and he's going to talk about that. So, Fitzy has no clue why they call it the Hollow. Look, how about you got a grounds crew here? Are you kidding me with this? That is fantastic. My man's got a paintbrush. Oh, yes. Now, you might have to invite these guys out to the stadium.
Trevor
still?
Yeah, Trevor and the boys could use them, I'm sure.
What a job they do, huh?
They do. You know, that's one of the things that, you know, the opposing players, they remark all the time what a great playing surface that we have at Kauffman Stadium. And Trevor and his guys are the ones responsible for that.
Well, I remember the first time I talked with Trevor, I wasn't about to step on the field, you know, when the game wasn't going on. I was afraid of the wrath of Trevor. How about, my man is about, I don't know how old he is, but he's massaging the dirt, and he's going to get a little help from George. That's another play of the day. Isn't that cool, though, just to see stuff like that that's come together from when you started this foundation? Could you imagine any of this?
We couldn't, you know, and it's special to see George out here interacting with people. And, you know, growing up a Royals fan and never having met George until we came here to Kansas City, it was really easy to see why the teams were so good. Of course, they had great talent back in those days, but George Brett, who was their most talented player, he was the best competitor. He wanted to win. He played with passion and heart. And when you have that, your team always has a chance to win. And George exemplified that.
There's another one. This one is way back there and a home run for the white team. And this one is hit out by Lonnie Ryburn from Gardner, Kansas. And his favorite memory goes back to the 85 World Series. So I bet he had fun at the 2015 as well, and Monty just continues to serve him up. He is doing a great job of laying him in there. You know, George probably didn't have to come too far to make it. He live about a mile away.
He told me he rode his scooter.
Did he really?
Yeah.
And this one is back into the pine trees on the launch by Butch Rigby, whose favorite wiffle memory was last year's tournament. I bet he'll remember this one finally after hitting that one. His favorite player, Roberto Clemente.
Wow.
What a guy he was. And I mean, we're here for charity today. Roberto Clemente was big time as far as that goes. So now our score, Royal is 5, Powder 6, and White 7. And Johnny Hart is on base for the White. And now Jeff Chidilla grounded right at the third baseman. Yeah, they got him.
Good pick.
Nice scoop over there by Day.
Yeah.
Were you amazed at the tournament the other night when we had guys? I mean, they were competitive.
They were.
How about some of the pitching?
I know.
This one is, almost made the play at the wall, but it falls in there, and the runners move up to second and third. But I was amazed at some of the pitching that was going on. I'd have been afraid to step in there.
Those guys were serious. They understood the arc and the movement of the ball too. They'd played some wiffle ball before.
Here's Hawk taking a big rip. Bobby Hawk. 2 big rips. I think we got Joel Goldberg down there doing. So we're going to go to break here, I guess. Dayton, if you need to get somewhere, you do that.
Yeah, let me say hi to some folks, Neil.
Do it right now. Do it right now.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to roam. Hey, here we go. We got George here. Oh, 3 ball.
And he hit one, and it still goes out of here. Oh, my. Did he hit it with the right of the 3 bats?
I don't know.
That is incredible. And what's George now? He's like 60 whatever. The hand-eye is still there. Who did you want to thank?
No, I'm just going to roam through and thank all the fans here today and the people of our community. And so,
what another shot there by George. But here's that home run again. Did he have 3 bats or 2 this time?
He hit the only
2.
strike.
That's awesome.
Look at that.
Oh, please. Oh, the refs are looking at Pine Tar, and they just called him out, and George is going crazy. He's gone nuts, spits flying everywhere, just like it did way back in the 70s. Or was that 1980 that happened? I think it might have been. Oh, we just saw some history here. Reincarnated. Somebody get a hold of that bat. Is Billy Martin here anywhere? See, look at that. Dayton, look. They measured it right there at the plate just like they did. Oh, what a great memory.
Oh, boy.
I remember talking to Frank White about that. Frank said, I'm just going to sit here in the dugout and watch this and watch George go crazy. And he did. Oh, that was great.
That was beautiful.
Well, I want you to be able to thank some of the folks here, Dayton, before you have to go back down on the field here.
Well, really just, all of our sponsors, certainly, Neil, you and what you've done with your media group and Joe and all of our sponsors, our players that are here in attendance today.
Some of them on the wall right there.
Yeah, all of our sponsors. So it's we just plan to continue to grow this, and more than anything, it's a special day to bring our community together.
Absolutely. Well, we sure enjoy being a part of it. I just like being able to reconnect with you a little bit, and really proud of you, man.
Thanks.
Appreciate all right, brother.
Love you, bud.
Okay, man. You too. We'll take a break and come back to the Hollow here in Kansas City.
Shakespeare once said, "Some are born great, and some have greatness thrust upon them. The rest of us," he said, "have to achieve greatness." We know exactly what he means. Be not afraid of greatness. Achieve it. Benedictine College, where greatness begins.
Crown Town Wiffle Weekend at the Hollow. Brought to you by Benedictine College. I was over there the other day. What a beautiful campus. And President Menace there. And we had Schaefer Schutz, their quarterback, on the call the other night. He did a great job. Looking forward to his senior year. Just what a beautiful campus. You get a great positive vibe when you walk on the campus there. And this is a base hit for the Royal Blue. Delivered as Fitzy's back out on the mound. Al Fitzmorris. Let's go down to Denny Matthews and Joel Goldberg here on the field.
So that's why I was hoping Julie could come get me and just meet her somewhere and she could take me down. Yeah. Are you there too?
Got to communicate out there.
That wasn't bad.
Well, you got to call it.
He called him off. Randy Brewer is the next hitter.
Got jammed. Put it in play.
And how about, watch out, careful, Randy.
Look out, look out.
Randy is in all the way from Nashville. We don't want him hobbling back home. Good to have you, though. Here's Jeremy Wheeler.
Oh, you run that out there, man.
That's an infield single.
Every time.
Oh, no. Pressure.
Oh.
Stadium, Tab. It's your stadium. Your stadium. Make it happen.
It's funny. We got that for Sunday.
Al Fitzmorris on the hill, and Tab White is at the plate.
Hey, bro.
You see that Kansas City Structural Stadium sign out there? Steel for good, and that's who Tab is with. Everybody's safe. Here's Nick Brondell. Bases loaded.
Flight 216 to Indianapolis has now changed the gate to
Oh, nice. There's the first one.
Rick Wolverton, a.k.a. Fuzz.
Good play in center.
Right up against the wall. Big swing from Kevin Derry. Come on, Fitzy. How was Fitzy as a fielder?
Excellent. Fitzy was a converted outfielder. Did you know that?
I did know that.
He was an outfielder in the White Sox organization, came to the Royals, and like all kids, they want to pitch.
That's all I got.
Hey, Kevin.
We would like to thank our title sponsor, Pro Athlete, today. No, I saw Scott Hedrick hitting earlier.
You got one.
Nice and walk down.
And leading off for Powder Blue is Tim Cook. Uh-oh.
We had one of those last night. Ground ball up the line, hit the bag. Batter runner safe.
It had a little bit stronger of a kick off the bag last night, did it not? Stronger exit velocity.
True that.
Here's John Holt.
Square one up, John. Come on. Square it up. Get the barrel on it. I don't know.
Tip. I heard a tip.
Lost track of the count.
It's okay.
Can't count.
Just don't get jammed.
The number is 4.
Make it pay. Bat flip.
The first ever strikeout bat flip.
That was a very hittable pitch, it would appear.
I did hit it.
Well, you did. Yeah, you did. Put good spin on it.
Here comes Gold Glover, Scott Sharp.
MVP. MVP. Yeah. I got a bear.
One-handed grab. Fuzz Wolverton with the grab.
Get you down.
I think maybe the wind is blowing in this year, Denny.
I think so.
Good one.
What do you got on this one, Denny?
Routine fly ball to the left. In and out, in and out. Show some hustle. Let's go.
That's right. Gotta push him along. Cookie's no longer here, so we gotta keep encouraging.
Yeah. How we doing, Matt? We moving this thing along all right for you?
Pitcher's ready. Taking a shine. He's ready.
Hey, wait, hold on. We have
hold on 1 second. We've got not a pinch hitter, an extra hitter. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer Denny Matthews. Good eye, Denny.
Way to look, Denny. I got some sunblock for you back here, buddy.
No, Fitzy, I think he needs one more.
What kind of pitching is that?
He's a lefty. Get
Check the ball,
it to him
Denny.
low and in.
Hold my rolling. That shot.
One more.
It's a
Maybe he needs a hockey stick.
Oh, we're switching over to. Oh, we needed that to roll fair. I thought I'm waiting for Monty.
All right.
Dead pull hitter. Pitch him outside.
So Denny says there's a glare on the batter's eye.
I might believe that. We've had less homers this year. You can't judge based on what George did, because George has talents that none of us have.
And 3 bats.
And 3 bats.
Can he run for him?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, he'll run for him. Next turn. He's going to hit it out, so he ain't going to have to do anything but a trot.
The one-hander from Bill Adair.
All right, that's all right, that's all right.
Bill, you don't have to run.
All right, we're going to take a break here from the Hollow in Kansas City, Missouri. We'll be right back with the guy that owns this place, this Field of Dreams, right after this.
Hey, George.
Still got it, baby. You still got it. Yeah. Well, you bought many bats from us before. That's good. Can you hold on 1 second? Thank you. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Thanks for holding. Yeah, I just had an important call I had to take.
Crown Town Wiffle Weekend at the Hollow is presented by Pro Athlete. And great to have everybody joining us here at the Hollow. And right now we're going to stand for God Bless America.
Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
All right. Wiffle Ball at the Hollow. This is the front yard of Joe Ungashik, who is now with us. And what an incredible place. Here's Joe, and man, this is unbelievable. You've lived here like 6 years. And tell me how all this got started.
Well, I grew up in Brookside, and we always had pocket parks thanks to J.C. Nichols. So it was natural that when J.C. built a home for himself here, we wanted to play in the front yard. So
and you built it, and they came. The young folks from around the neighborhood. I mean, this happened 6 years ago, like you said, and then it's progressed into this with CU in the Major League. How did all that come about?
Well, you really have to give Dan Diebel credit because he started Casey Wiffle, and they wanted to play spring games here. And then the fundraiser, all that meant was that we had to add a fence. And it's amazing how a fence transforms a field, right? You have something to shoot for.
That's right. And we've had all kinds of balls flying out of here. Here's Mayor James again. He got on last time. And did you see him dive back to second base? Were you around for that, Joe?
It's his new nickname, Slide James.
I like it. Here he is trying to beat one out. Didn't quite make it this time. He did not go for the head-first slide this time. Mayor Slide James, was he good with that? He likes that nickname now?
You know that. He loves all that stuff.
He's been outstanding in his support. You know, the other night at the Urban Youth Academy, we're going to have a review here and make sure that, does the mayor trump the umpires?
I think the mayor is safe, don't you?
When he's involved in the play, I guess maybe his detail is going to be over there and make sure that the call goes the right way.
I've seen how this works.
Only here at this incredible event can you see the Hall of Famer.
I understand they're on the phone with New York. They're getting the feedback. They're going to the MLB.com app, and they're waiting for the delay, which we have a little bit in our signal here.
Hold on, we've got some evidence here.
You think they're going to go rock, paper? They are. This is how we decide everything. Is the rock, paper, scissors. And he cuts him up.
I can't believe it.
And now we've got another argument.
Yeah.
We had Joe.
Come on, not there.
Wow, we can hear him. He's punching him out from third base. Oh, my goodness.
Here goes the yard.
My man's gone bananas. Are you okay with that on the mound and he's kicking around your dirt here in the yard?
I guess
they threw him out.
You pay to play. You can do what you want, right?
Oh, and you've got a souvenir.
Yeah.
You caught his hat. Very impressive. The Hawk is gone. Well, hey, Mayor James, he can't believe they called him out.
On a bad call.
It's on a bad call. Well, we had George Brett. We reenacted the Pine Tar moment. Was that 1980? Do you remember, Joe? I can't remember the year.
I can't remember the year. I should know the date, though, right? Because it's an infamy.
Well, we're old enough, so we should know that.
True.
When we remember it, I remember Fred White was on the call. He was on the call on some big moments. Mitch Wheeler once again lines out to the outfielder. Mitch is has been a big part of this too, hasn't he?
Couldn't do it without Mitch. He's Mitch the pitch. He's the one who makes the money roll.
Well, and the partners, it's been incredible. Last year we had the one game here, right? At your place.
That's right.
Talk about how it went last year, the first year. Oh, nice play in the outfield.
Great catch.
Here's Hawk.
That's great.
Hawk wants his hat back. Hawk got tossed and came up into the broadcasting booth here and got his hat back.
They like their swag, you know?
Yes. But tell us about last year, though.
Well, last year the idea didn't emerge until April when we were having our spring league, and Matt Folks, who runs the foundation, and Mitch and I were on the same team, and of course Mitch the pitch said, could we use your field for a fundraiser? And then it all happened. So it was 12 weeks and we got after it.
And, you know, we have tested the grounds here. We have so many people, it's hard to kind of control that. But you have stands up there, or I guess I should say, you know, grandstands. They have seats up there. We've got the tent behind us. You're going to have a program after the game? Is that it, or was it?
Dayton will be speaking at lunch, right, about the foundation.
Gotcha.
Betty Ray's Ice Cream, of course, out in center field. So
couldn't do this without all the partners and sponsors.
Well, exactly right. I mean, you see the sign for Eventergy. They are the event planner, and I mean, they have a map.
Yeah, it's amazing how this event, and really now it's called the Crown Town Wiffle Weekend because it started Thursday night at the Urban Youth Academy. And how beautiful is that facility now, Joe? I mean, we were out there talking the other night. I mean,
we got the weather to go with it, didn't we?
We sure did. Is the wind blowing in, though? That's not good in a wiffle ball game.
See, all you have to do is look across at the Loose Park fountain, and you can see the wind direction.
We just always called that the duck pond. Did you call it something else?
It is the duck pond.
The duck pond.
We don't want to talk about what's in there, though.
We're old enough to know some things, I guess, aren't we?
Here's Mr. Klein of Grand Slam fame.
Oh, and he almost got one out.
Yeah.
It's juggled and caught in the outfield. And who made that play out there? We got to get a jersey.
That is Randy Brewer.
He
traveled furthest. He came from Nashville.
That's right. He hit a home run, I think, early.
Well, he did get a hit to lead off the game.
Maybe that's what it was, a base hit. As they change and talk about this format here, how you have 3 teams here today, and there's the score 7-6 to 10. It's white on top.
Very competitive. It, of course, by having the clubhouse in center field, it means these teams get a break because they didn't get spring training.
I noticed Mayor James has made his way over there pretty quickly to get in the shade in the clubhouse.
He has friends.
Well, and talk about the organization of getting this all together and preparing for this event. I mean, we are sitting in what is a press box now. You have the monster out here.
And who knows what there's going to be next year. I heard there's actually going to be corn growing right there in left field.
You heard that from who? Are you
from the owner, yes.
So are we going to be able to and they're going to come
stay
out?
tuned. You got to be here next year.
Okay, we're promoting next season. So hopefully we're going to be able to get this on MLB.com again. This has been a lot of fun. How about the pro athlete founder, Scott, the other night hitting the home run. His son goes back-to-back behind him. They turn to the app because it's a little bit delayed, and we're able to watch their home run.
I didn't hear that.
So
That's fantastic.
That cool?
Yeah.
So the sponsor,
father-son.
Yeah, the lead sponsor going father-son back-to-back. I think his name's Clark, the son. So that's fantastic. Love that.
This is when you think about being on TV and wondering what little opportunities we'll have to make a moment of fame. Yeah. There's been so many of them already. It's really an exciting game, Well,
I think we have some ESPN plays of the day here already because George Brett has gone yard twice with multiple bats in his hand, throwing multiple balls at him, and then Mayor James sliding into second head first. We've had a lot of action here.
And there's Mr. Ungashik with his second error. Remember,
that's your brother, John.
It is.
Out here in
means
left field.
Clumsy in German. So we live up to that every chance we get.
He's a great guy. I enjoyed talking to him before the game. Now watch this. And now, hey, listen, Joe, I think that's the third out, but that was a nice play.
That was. He got his fielding percentage up to 333.
Thanks for coming up. We're going to take another break. Joe, this is so phenomenal.
Thanks for
being
out.
a great host.
Great to be here.
That is Joe Ungashik here in his front yard, the Hollow, 52nd and Warner. We'll take another break. Back right after this.
A wise man once said, "The world offers you comfort, but you were not made for comfort. You were made for greatness." Discover what you were made for. Benedictine College, where greatness begins.
Crown Town Wiffle Weekend at the Hollow is brought to you by the Darrell Rodrock Foundation. And we thank you to Mr. Rodrock and his foundation. We even have the hot dog race. And I think we had a false start. Oh my goodness, they're running it anyway. There goes Ketchup, missed the base entirely. Here they come around the corner, dodging camera people, and it's Ketchup that wins the trip around the bases here at the Hollow. A burst of speed, much like Carlos Beltran, came around third base. And once again, presented by Rodrock Foundation, and he's got some speed. And look, he negotiated our camera guy and the wire that went with it. Very impressive to win the hot dog race here tonight. That was awesome. So we've got everything here at the Hollow. Crown Town Wiffle Weekend. And it ends today with these three teams. White on top, powder blue with 6, royal blue with 7. So we've had an offensive affair, and I have to thank our pitchers here tonight. And you talk about her this morning, I should say. Jeff Montgomery has been finding the sweet spot on a lot of bats here today. That's what he's trying to do. He and Al Fitzmorris. Monty told me he might work a splitter in there. I have not seen it yet. That might get a little ugly if he starts throwing splitters with a wiffle ball. I bet he can make that move about 6 feet. And here's Brewer at the plate. As we said, he comes from Nashville, Tennessee. He's got one up the middle, and he's got another base hit. Oh, he had a runner. I like that. He said, "No, man, I'm not running today." We called those ghost runner. And the ghost runner makes it to first base, and when you got a ghost runner named Fuzz, that's going to do something for you. So we have first and third. That last one caught for the second out of the inning. Here's Tab White, who's been solid here tonight. I keep saying tonight, this morning at 11:30. Crown Town Wiffle Weekend here at the Hollow. So each team rotates through, and now the white team is going to have their chance to go under the tent, get a little shade, some food, and powder blue back out for their turn at the plate.
Got water down the infield. It's been a little dusty out there. We got some water going on. We got some gymnastics on the field. Try to follow all the action.
Let's revisit those rules. The former Royals are the pitchers. Jeff Montgomery, Al Fitzmorris. We've had others. 3 pitches per player, 3 outs per team. Hitting team goes to the field. Fielding team goes to the clubhouse. Clubhouse team goes to bat. That's how they rotate. Disputed calls, which we've had a couple here, will be officially reviewed. And in fact, we might have some arguments, like we had one guy tossed. The Hawk got tossed. George Brett had too much pine tar. He went crazy, just like he did back in the day. And then when we decide things, we go to review, but then it's really decided on the rock, paper, scissors. And Mayor James unable to overcome the rock, paper, scissors on his close play at first and also on his diving slide back to second earlier, which he has now come up with a new nickname, which is Mayor Slide James. So there we go. Matt, will you put a headset on for me right here? I got Matt Fulks, the director of CU in the Major Leagues, the foundation. Matt, you with me? I kind of pulled a quick audible here on the audio guys. Tyler in the truck, you there?
I wasn't ready for it, but
there you go. Matt Fulks. There's Mayor James. What do you think about this event today?
You know, this is our second year of doing it, and it's as magical this year. The guys all enjoy it. They're having fun. They haven't played many of them since, the last 45 years or so, but it's fun today.
Well, I noticed there Randy Brewer got the hit, and he just decided not to run. He had fuzz.
He says,
as a ghost runner.
So I was standing there. He says he has a pulled hamstring.
Oh, please. Come on now. And Mr. Ed at the plate.
Might have gotten it on his flight from Nashville last night.
Yeah, he came a long way, didn't he?
He did.
There's Mr. Ed trying to drop one in there, and Mayor James is not going to be able to make the play. But he looked quick off the line that time. And Mr. Ed had a ghost runner. Does this now become a thing?
Yeah, I guess.
We don't want any blown hammies out here. What did you think of George Brett's trip to the plate with a couple of homers and multiple bats?
You know, the first one was more impressive because it was...
Really?
They used him in the second at bat.
Matt, he threw 3 balls. The pitcher threw 3 balls, and he hit the middle one out with 2 bats. I think that was more impressive.
It was a towering shot, the first one.
Yeah, well, the second one was a line shot
and
right
he was
over
using
the wall.
3 bats instead of, I think, the second at bat, he was using 2.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It was impressive nonetheless. And this one is going to be caught by T-Mac. How about tagging up? Now that's Scott Sharp has still got some wheels.
He does.
You know, he's still a young guy, you know, in my book.
He was our MVP last year.
Was he? No wonder he came back and put the eye black on and all that kind of stuff. And clapping, a lot of positivity out here.
Nope.
Here's George again. Oh, what is this? A weak grounder. You know what? That is actually... When I think of George Brett, that was it. Up the middle with a line shot.
That was it, and he ran it all the way.
Did he hit with more than 1 bat that time?
2.
Okay. See, next time maybe it's only going to be 1 bat. In your wildest dreams, Matt, when you guys started CU in the major leagues, and you're the director, how about camera people making plays over here? Did you think that we would see this and what we saw the last couple of days over at the Urban Youth Academy?
You know, I asked Dayton that the other night when we...
That is gone and into the tent for the home run for Powder Blue.
Tim Cook.
That is Tim Cook from Kansas City, Missouri. And his favorite Wiffle memory was going 0 for 4 last year. At the dish is what he said. So, I mean, he just yanked one out of here, the Cooker did. But go ahead, let's talk about...
Well, just, you know, when we had a great event last year. It raised about $75,000, and it was just a lot of fun. We said, okay, how can we make this bigger? How can we impact more people in Kansas City? So as Dayton and I were talking through that in December, we said, well, let's have a 2-day tournament at the Urban Youth Academy. And you think, well, maybe you can get 20, 25 teams to your first year. We got 28 teams. And I asked Dayton the other night, I said, are you surprised by this? And he said, yes and no. No, because of just the way the people of Kansas City are just so great and generous. And we've seen that through our work.
Oh, my goodness. That one is launched up on the top of the tent back here by Scott Sharp. That was out of here in a hurry through the wind. Hey, calm down out there, Scott. Good night. You're going to hit the press box up here.
You know, last year he had 3 home runs on 4 pitches.
No wonder he was MVP.
Yeah. But you can imagine that the people of Kansas City supporting it. Look at that.
I think Dayton said he went to George Washington University. That's how it was done back then. Was that an aluminum bat? What was that?
It had a funky sound to
that
it.
Did. That one's... Somebody check that bat out. It bounced off the bat. Look at that. They're getting it into the mix of others so that we don't know.
Exactly.
But our camera folks, John Sprugel, he followed it over there. Coca-Cola with a play out there, number 10 for Royal Blue. So Matt, continue on, man. And we had some action there. They're coming in and out. They're switching. So go ahead.
But you can't imagine just the atmosphere. I mean, we dreamed of how it could turn out, but to see it the way, and you saw it Thursday night, just the magical atmosphere that we had. 28 teams rather, probably about 320 players, and so far the feedback has been very positive, and it was just so much fun. So, you know, we're hoping to raise about $200,000 from these 3 days. We're going to be pretty close.
And it's amazing what's happened with the money that you've raised. We talked to Dayton about that a little bit. This one is launched. Hey, that one's gone, but it's foul. No, it's not foul. That's just John Ungashik, who's calling it foul down here. And guess who launched it? That guy just got tossed.
Yeah,
the Hawk has found his way back onto the field.
I don't know how that works.
He flew back in here and then launched one. I think we got to, and now George, see the two guys that have argued with the officials here tonight, with the umpires today, and they've both gone yard.
They gave each other a big hug after that. Go figure.
Partners in crime on that one. So you go for you're going for $200,000 this year, and it's amazing what you do with the money. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So since 2014, and I'm sure Dayton mentioned this, but the foundation's been able to grant about $750,000, and $645 of that has stayed here in Kansas City. Foul ball. But we're just excited about being able to help people. It's life-changing for them, but it's life-changing for us too. Because if you can imagine telling somebody, here's a check for $20,000 to help give you a exercise bike for your child who's disabled, it's I'm gonna get choked up thinking about it. It's just pretty powerful.
It's amazing. We talked about the basketball team that played wiffle ball the other night.
Right.
Freedom
Hoops.
And just hearing the stories of some of those kids that have been impacted because that team has been sponsored to play basketball, and they were playing wiffle ball the other night.
Yeah.
Maybe not their sport, but they had fun.
They had fun. We had a couple groups that we work with, Freedom Hoops and then the Police Athletic League. And, when we can give character-based messages to kids, and that's all, Dayton's about character messages.
Yes.
And that's where the C in See You in the Major Leagues comes from. 10 C words that lead to character leadership. And so when we can pass those along to really any kids these days seem to need it, but particularly from the underserved areas where a lot of them are growing up in a single-parent home and aren't getting those messages.
What a catch there by John Holt here in the outfield, wearing number 4 appropriately. Very impressive, John. Awesome. He's talking about it right now. I know that's a shock to everybody.
Up against the wall and everything.
He wants to see it again right now, he said. He's calling for a replay. And there's a base hit. And again, Matt, we're going to take a break after the white team hits, but I want you to stick around. We'll toss it to a break as they will
Two outs.
Switch scenarios here. We got bases loaded, though. This is a big moment in the game with Butch up there wearing double sevens for the white team. And this one is off the wall. That'll score 1. Everybody moves up 1 base, and White now with 11 after the big inning. Or excuse me, that's 12 now, so we are knotted at 12. What happens in the event of a tie as that one's gone? A grand slam home run as White making it happen, and Hart telling everybody about it as he runs around the bases. Johnny Hart from Kansas City, Missouri. I think that might be his second home run.
I think it might be.
I'm losing track of everything. George Brett's showing how you're supposed to flip the bat. Is he the bat boy now? What is he doing?
He's been a catcher today. He's been a pinch hitter.
He doesn't live too far from here now. He probably, actually Dayton said, I think, that he rode his scooter over here.
He did. He rode his Vespa.
His Vespa?
Yes.
He still looks like he can run, actually, you know?
He does. It's parked around here somewhere.
He's in great shape.
And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but Jeff Chadilla from NFL.com, who's on first,
yes,
with that little dribbler, he was using 2 bats.
Jeff was?
Jeff was.
So he finally got wise to the George Brett.
But it didn't. He's got a little dribbler.
He did just hit a little dribbler, so I guess that's your point, right?
That's my point.
Is that George is launching them over the wall. So are we playing more innings here, Matt? What's going on? You're running this show. What's happening?
Play another inning.
Oh, we are. Matt has said, so we're going to take a break, come back. We're playing another inning. Right now, White has 16 to 12 to 7. And Matt's telling him to keep going. We'll be back right after this. Hey, George.
Still got it, baby. You still got it. Yeah. Most, you bought many bats from us before. That's good. Can you hold on 1 second? Thank you. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Thanks for holding. Yeah, I just had an important call I had to take.
Crown Town Wiffle Weekend is brought to you by Heartland Coca-Cola, one of the great sponsors here that makes this happen. Crown Town Wiffle Weekend. And Fitzy's back out there to throw some more meatballs. He had a little spice on that one, and that's a base hit. I'm giving everybody a hit. I don't care if it goes through their legs. Yeah. We have no official scorekeepers. It's all a base hit in the box score tomorrow. Matt, there's some other folks you wanted to recognize here.
Well, I just want to tell people real quick, you can still, for the next few minutes, go to seeyouinthemajorleagues.org/wiffle. You can find the auction. We've got some incredible online auction items that you can bid on. I'm looking at George over on the side. There's a dinner here at the Hollow with George Brett that he's going to help cook.
Oh, my goodness.
You can bid on that. You can bid on a framed bat piece that includes signed bats by George, Bo Jackson, Mike Sweeney, Alex Gordon, and Salvador Perez.
Oh, that's great.
So go check that out, but seeyouinthemajorleagues.org.
That's great. And there is how you get in touch and make it happen there on your screen. And, boy, I hope George is going to hold court a little bit with that.
I have a feeling he might.
That's worth it right there. Let me tell you, being able to play a few rounds of golf with George in various tournaments and so forth over the years, it's fun. You just have some time.
He's having a blast back behind home plate with everybody.
I'm not sure he's going home today. He may just stick around. And, you know, you mentioned Alex Gordon, you mentioned Salvi. They've done a lot for that Urban Youth Academy. The other night, is our wall going down? What happened there? Is that a play that somebody made? We couldn't see it. Matt Rutledge has somehow come up with the wiffle ball here. Did he bounce off the wall as well?
He bounced off the wall.
Oh, my goodness. He's getting a standing ovation here at the Hollow. Well, that could say, they're saying that that's the greatest play in the history of this event. Let's look again. Matt, what did you see here?
Look at that. He went up against the wall. He bit the wall. I mean, we can see it from here.
And he juggled it.
How about that?
He grabbed onto it. George Brett was impressed. That's just like I did when I slid into the dugout in the World Series and caught one. Oh, and what I liked about it was Rutledge bounced off the fence, and the fence is still standing over here. We've done a nice job on the construction.
It is.
Of the Green Monster.
You know, we had HOK, a big firm that does a lot of stadiums around really around the world. They helped develop this.
Here we go. We're going to walk you right out there. That is John Sprugel on camera as we go for just a little bit of repair work, but that's the fence. That's the monster. Uh-oh, it's bent a little bit. Matt, I guess that's going to get covered in the off-season. You got some insurance going on here?
I think we're going to have to talk to Mr. Rutledge.
We've got it all covered here, at least on camera and on MLB.com, which has been a nice, fun thing this year that we can do that. One of my favorite moments, Matt, is this one. I think that's Fesco flying out.
It was.
I say fly out. The second baseman caught it. That's a pop out.
Well, he caught it in right field.
Well, whatever. There's Bob Fesco right there. But my favorite moment probably was at the Urban Youth Academy the other night, and Pro Athletes founder Scott Hedrick, right? And his son Clark, I think it's Clark, but they went back-to-back home run. Carter, that's it. Carter. They went back-to-back home run, and then they went over because we have a little delay in the signal to get to MLB.com, and they had the app out watching the home runs as we replayed it.
That's
and
awesome.
I just love that. Father-son back-to-back by your lead sponsor,
That's
Pro
awesome.
Athlete.
And they played for the championship last night. They ended up losing the championship game. But,
Or they would have been here. Is that right? How does that work?
No, so the afternoon game was the top two fundraising teams. Foul ball. It was the top two fundraising teams.
I see. Okay.
But yeah, Pro Athlete lost to the Plastic Pyros in the championship.
It's all in the name. Well, we might as well take this opportunity as John Ungashik running the bases. He's still got some speed left from O'Hara High School here in the area. The legend. Made a nice play in the outfield. Yeah, but Joe was up here on headset.
Was he?
When he made the play, but he dropped one before that. So he was hammered unmercifully by his brother Joe up here.
Oh, I'm sure.
And this one is caught by, no, it's dropped by T-Mac, and everybody is safe. So what were we talking about before all that happened? What were we going with?
The wall, the Hedricks, the home runs.
You got a lot of stuff swimming through your head right
really
now, man.
do.
You've organized this whole thing. Congratulations, by the way, buddy. I'm proud of you for all you guys have done and what this is meaning in the community. So here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to promote next year a little bit. We want to talk about if we had 28 teams this year, and if anybody was able to watch on MLB.com, I know they want to be a part of this. So we might as well start that right now.
We can. We're working on the date still, but it will be a done deal pretty soon, and we'll be good to go.
And so what does it take? I mean, maybe you're going to make up some rules for next year. I don't know. This year it was like 2,500 a team.
It was 2,500,
right?
but the one thing we really stressed was the peer-to-peer fundraising. We set up fundraising pages for each team, and they could raise it or they could just write a check. But it was a lot of fun for them, I think, and we've already had several say, we're in. Once you get it, let's register.
And the money does so much in the community through the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation, started by Dayton Moore and his wife, Marianne. And let's don't leave Marianne out.
Right.
She was there the other night watching she was there, I think, to the bitter end.
She was. There's a good chance she's here today already.
So let's get back to the game here because we got the tying run at first, and this one is off the wall. And coming around, last year's MVP is Scott Sharp to score the run for the Powder Blue. And we're wearing out the score box here, Matt. And I don't know if you know this, but this took a little effort to create this.
Oh, I'm sure.
Derek from Niles Media Group getting it done. The rare 3-team score box.
Thank you, Derek.
Derek Kilgore, who is the graphics machine for Niles Media Group.
There have been awesome graphics. I can't thank you guys enough on behalf of Dayton and the foundation just for your support in all this. And, you know, it was just, 3 weeks ago that
we put it together.
So.
Well, and so Kevin Shank, TJ McGinnis from our staff did a great job working with you guys to set this all up. And we obviously want to be a part of it and help as best we can because it's such a great community event. And who knows what's going to happen in the future. You know what?
Exactly.
You just
we'll keep it growing and see what happens.
Keep working ahead, and this one is caught in left field by the Fuzz.
Well, Neil, I appreciate it.
Denny Matthews just called that a can of corn.
He did.
So we got that on the broadcast tonight.
Well, I appreciate it. We will. I'm headed out of here.
Yeah, you got stuff to do.
The game's about to end.
Get out of here then. I'll see you. Matt Folks, the director of See You in the Major Leagues here at the foundation. And what a great job they have done this week. And again, our Niles Media Group staff, Kevin Shank, TJ McGinnis being a part of the meetings to make this happen. I think they've had fun. Kevin's directed like 1 million Major League Baseball games in his life. And, you know, you don't have anybody better than that to have on a wiffle ball game here. And it's been fun. And John Dennison, John Sprugel, partners at Niles Media Group. There's John Dennison right there. All right, Johnny. I mean, we all got involved here today. Johnny, with Kevin. Kevin was the producer. Johnny was the director of so many Royals broadcasts over the years. And there's John Sprugel. They call him Frugal Sprugel. I think he's embraced that nickname. All right, management on camera tonight. Al Fitzmorris back out there to toss the rock, and Hawk is up there after getting thrown out earlier tonight or today or this morning or whatever it is, almost afternoon here. Hawk somehow crawled back through the bushes and got back into the game and hit one out of here. He's trying to do it again. Oh, Hawk has gone deep again off of the tent for the white. The player that got thrown out is now disco fevering around the bases. And he's got a welcoming committee as he comes on home. The Hawk has given his team a 2-run lead with a big fly off the tent in left field. Let's look again at Hawk. Oh, he had a nice little upper lift on that one, tossing the bat. I don't even know if that stayed on the field of play, but here's his disco move at second. Don Cornelius giving this one a 50. And everybody's safe here. Parks is safe at second. Little base hit there. As White now with a comfortable, I say comfortable, not in this game, not in Wiffle Ball, 2-run lead. And at the plate is Harris, Adam Harris. And he reaches first base. So we got the bases juiced again with Parks at third. Hickman, who got the base hit. Trey Hickman is at second. And that little base hit right there. So the bags are juiced. And the one-hander at the plate. And he drills it, and he's right off of Parks. And he's out. Hedrick making the play. Founder of Pro Athlete making the play here at third. There he is. And we thank him and Pro Athlete for everything they have done here with Crown Town Wiffle Weekend. Popped up and caught by the first baseman, drifting back into right field. And that will bring up Butch Rigby, who's had a nice game here today. White leading by 2 runs over Powder Blue. Royal Blue was 7. This could be a big moment. Oh, and this one is, he just got under that one, and the wind will keep it in play. It's caught in the outfield by the Cooker. And I think that's it. They're announcing the final score. And White wins it. Team White, who I believe, was George Brett on their team? I can't remember. We had to disqualify him just on that basis. He's wearing white, so it seemed like though he hit him out when he was playing for blue. I don't know. But it's been a very fun game here today. A lot of money raised for CU in the Major Leagues Foundation and all they do in the community. Dayton Moore and Marianne Moore started this foundation a few years ago, and boy, it's just gotten better every year, raise more money every year, and what they're doing with the money in this community is incredible. There is Joe Ungashik, who owns the Hollow here, his front yard. Great visiting with him during the game, and it's been a great 3 days, that's for sure. So I would like to thank everybody that came up and participated with us up here. I'd like to thank Kevin Shank and TJ McGinnis for holding this together for Niles Media Group and MLB.com. And Dayton Moore, who came up and sat with us for a couple of innings. Also Joe Ungashik right here in his front yard. And Matt Fulks, the director of the foundation. Boy, what a great day. And thanks so much to Kansas City for what they've done in helping participate in Crown Town Wiffle Weekend. This is Neil Harwell. We'll see you next time. Good day, everybody.
Mentors is a guy named Jim Beach. Of course,